Hello, hi. So in this video, I will try to beat the new League of Legends mode. Yes, I'm talking about this mode. That one mode where monsters chase you for no reason. Yeah! That mode where monsters try to prevent you from playing football. And more importantly, that mode where monsters try to overwhelm you with a sheer amount of number. But somehow, I will try to win a game without moving. I will literally be standing there, menacingly. Let's start at the beginning. As you can see, I was playing a swamp game, everything normal. I was just trying to get as much experience as I could because it was the beginning of the game, while moving around to not take some unnecessary damage. But at some point the game got crazy and I was dodging some crazy stuff. It got even crazier when all my teammates decided to meet Jesus early. And in this desperate situation, I tried my best to survive. At some point, I even thought it was over for me. If that monster touched me, I was literally dead. But somehow, I managed to survive the situation. But it wasn't over yet. There was an even bigger monster coming my way. I killed all the little monsters in front of me so I could flee. And when I was in a good position, I focused all my attacks on the bigger monster. And ultimately, I had killed it. At this point of time, all my teammates were alive. I had saved the game. After 3 minutes, we became so strong we didn't even have to move anymore. The monsters were just collapsing around us. And that's where I got the video idea. And yes, I lost the game.
Is this nigga serious?
Anyway, let me explain to you how this whole challenge will go. First, let me explain the rules I came up with. The first rule, which is also the most obvious one, is that I can't use WASD. Because if I press any of these buttons, I will literally move. The second rule is that I can't use any ability that causes the character to move. For example, Briar E and Yasuo E. The third rule is that I can get hit by a monster that causes me to move. I'm talking about that one monster in particular that looks like a bull and that chases you to the down of earth until it hits you. And when that huge monster hits you, it throws you 60 meters away. I really hate this monster and I'm praying for his downfall. Now let's talk about the last rule. Near the end of every game, when the boss spawns, you're literally forced to go somewhere you don't want to be. And since this movement is out of your control, I don't think it should count as you moving. It's more like a cutscene and it's unavoidable. Now that the rules are set, let's talk about the game plan. There are many different abilities, different characters, different difficulties, and also different maps. So the wise thing to do will be to think about the best combination. For the difficulty, I decided to pick the easier one. And if I win somehow, I will try the other difficulties to see how far I can go. For the map, as you can see, there are 4 choices we can make. So we will go through a process of elimination, and the decisive factor will be the boss fight. There are 4 different boss fights, and they all operate differently. Let's start with the Briar fight. This fight happens in the outskirts. When Briar spawns, the game throws you in an arena with her, where you fight until the end. In this fight, there is not a situation when you are forced to move. If you manage to kill Briar before she pushes you away, I think it becomes doable. So I think it's actually possible to win on this map without moving at all. The second boss fight we will talk about is the Velvet fight. This fight happens in the lab, and I cannot say the other word. At the beginning of the fight, when Velvet spawns, you are forcefully thrown at the left side of the map. So you have to run all the way to the top right just to fight Velvet. And if you don't, the zone is going to get to you and it will burn you, which is fine, I guess, but not in our situation. So I don't think you can win on this map without working at all. The next boss fight we are going to talk about is the Rek'Sai fight. This fight happens in the warehouse district. At the beginning of the fight, you are thrown in the arena with her, where you have to fight for your life. And sometimes she throws this thing that you have to destroy before you are able to hit her again. But with a ranged character, this fight should be easy, because you will be able to destroy these things as fast as possible. And since nothing else happened during this fight, I think it's safe to say that this fight is doable. Now let's talk about the last fight, which is also the only fight I hate from the bottom of my soul. At the beginning of the fight, you're literally teleported close to 8 rocks, and the game forces you to watch a terrible cutscene that even I can animate on a terrible laptop. And also I have no idea what is the problem with the texture here. And then when you go to fight 8 rocks, the fight is fairly easy. Matter of fact, it is really easy. But at this point of time, I think if you can't tank his damage, you don't really have to move. After killing him one time, somehow the unexpected happens, and this brother stand up once again. And after he stand up, he gives you the hardest battle you ever experienced in your entire life. But before the battle even happens, you have to run all the way to the left to fight him. And if you don't, this blue thing is going to kill you. So winning without moving on this map is impossible. And those are the maps left. Also, I don't know why I literally made a website for this. Anyway, I made another website to choose the character.
Is this nigga serious?
I will spare you the details, but I decided to pick Zaya. The fact that she can pick the experience without moving make her the best character for this challenge. Now that everything is said and done, let's start the first game. The first game started as you would expect it to start. I was standing here, fighting the urge to move. The game barely started, but it's like there was an aura around my W button. I was fighting demons, just not to hit it.
I don't read it. I don't need it.
But I had to focus on the game. And when I say focus on the game, I mean watching Zaya destroying enemies while waiting for her to collect the experience. And collecting the experience she was. Because I got my level 2 very fast. And my favorite item, Radiant Field. So now every time they got close to me they just died. Which is very nice because I wouldn't be overwhelmed anymore. After this, I got my level 3. Which made me unlock my E ability. At this point, I was just spamming E while watching a video on my phone. But after some time, a huge monster came my way trying to kill me. Yeah, it didn't last that long, but it left me this, and the urge to take it was unbearable, bro. I mean, look at the animation.
I don't read it.
And after some time, this monster spawned around me, and this big guy came my way, and I killed him very fast. But after I killed him, I realized, instead of killing him that fast, I should have let him come on top of me so I could collect his card. But because of this mistake, now I had 2 cards dancing in front of me.
I don't read it.
So now I had a plan, and I was going to take advantage of it. There was 2 big monsters coming my way, and when they came, I saw they were going to charge me, and I knew I had to time my E perfectly, and somehow I did. I got one. I couldn't get the other one, unfortunately.
I don't read it.
But you know what? Just getting one was enough to make me happy. Anyway, I kept pushing and pushing. And when I say pushing, I mean pressing E and R, bro. After some point, the bombs were coming my way. But it didn't even faze me a little bit. And I destroyed them one after the other. But when I thought I was safe, I got sniped out of nowhere. And then I got sniped again. I didn't know if the monster would get closer or not. But if it didn't, I don't think I would have lasted that long. But fortunately for me, this guy came really close. And watching back, I wonder why I didn't let him get closer. I literally could have picked this guy. After this point, I just kept spamming E and R. After some time, 2 big monsters came my way. And they made me jump. I mean, does it count as moving? I don't think so. Because I only move in the Z axis, not in the X or Y axis. And in this game mode, the Z axis does not matter. And at this point, I literally stopped looking at my screen. It was the most boring experience of my entire life. And looking at the cards around me was just pure torture, bro. The kind of torture that can be featured in these videos.
I don't read it.
But I came back just in time for the boss fight, which didn't feel like a boss fight. It felt like I was stealing Rek'Sai lunch money.
Where's the rest of the money?
This is all I got.
I mean, just look at the boss fight. I think the difficulty was way too low, bro. Just look at this. At the end, I was the only one left standing. As you can see, it was way too easy. So I decided to go on in other difficulty. At the beginning, I had some doubt, but everything was going exactly like the last game. Until this guy showed up, and he showed me it wouldn't be the same thing. I was trying to make him come as close as I could, so I could pick up his card. But it dealt way more damage than I thought it would. Every time I saw a mini boss, I was trying the same strategy. And apparently it was working for me. And I could even evolve some weapons. But then, disaster struck. As I was standing still doing nothing, a huge monster spawned. I didn't know what kind of monster it was, but then I got sniped. And when it hit me, it took 1/4 of my health, bro. I knew I was in big trouble, and I had no idea how I was going to survive the situation. It's like that monster had 1 second cooldown, and it kept bombing me over and over again. And when it was going to bomb me for the last time, I had enough time to sing one song. Don't you know I'm still standing?